Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Dosha with DoshaDreams Tarot, and I'm doing a reading for the sign of Aries. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just remember, this is a general reading, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. If they do, great. Just take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else, okay? Roles can be reversed. Energy can be vice versa. What else do I need to say? Like, comment, share, and subscribe, of course. I'm new to YouTube, but I've been doing tarot for a long time, so I'm happy to be here to bring these messages to y'all. And I hope you enjoy them. So, you got 2 oracle cards today. Beautiful. This is from the Oracle of Mystical Moments deck that I love so much. It is a very surreal kind of deck. This is a pretty mild imagery for this deck, actually, but it typically will interweave elements of nature, animals, plants, and people, right? So this is the Night Ride. You also got the House of Flowers. And I'm curious with these two if perhaps, Aries, you might be kind of going through, you might have to go on a night ride, so to speak, to get to your House of Flowers. Does that make sense? Because that's kind of the way that I'm seeing the cards here. You can see, the elephant and the owls are moving towards this House of Flowers. And you can see down here that there's 2 figures down at the bottom of the card who are kind of looking in amazement at this house. And then there's 2 owls on the top of the elephant. So this very easily could be moving towards partnership, moving towards domestic partnership, I'm getting. And I think it's kind of sweet here. It could also be, it doesn't even have to be a romantic partnership. This could be you moving in with a really good friend of yours, and it's finally a great living situation for both of you, But I am seeing a little bit of, what's the word? A dynamic of a kind of how do I explain this? Not teacher and student, but it's more of a dynamic of like protector and protected, right? So that's kind of why I guess I got a kind of a domestic partnership kind of vibe from it, because I think typically with our partners we tend to have more of a let me shelter you kind of vibe, but at the same time someone could be taking you under their wing, so to speak, which is great, Aries. And if you're in a position, maybe you're taking someone under your wing, who knows? We'll go ahead and get into the cards and see what they have to say. Thank you, Spirit, for your divine messages and guidance. We are grateful, and we know we couldn't do this without you. So, do we have any messages for Aries today? What is it that they're moving towards, and with whom are they moving towards it with? I was like, how do I structure this question? What is Aries moving towards? I feel like Spirit wants me to use my other deck. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I go on down the line. Oh, I love this. Sometimes I go on down the line with my decks. Other times Spirit's like, just get to the the Modern Witch Tarot, because I really like the imagery is really clean and crisp in this deck, and it's just it's like a thick big deck, which okay, let's see. Okay, cool. You only got 1 card dropped, so you've got the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords typically, and with context of other cards, of course, this card to me is speaking of like quick communication, very clear communication and action. This is definitely intellectual, so this is of the mind, right? So that's why I feel that it's communication happening, but it's communication with action, or communicating in action. Does that make sense? Where someone could be like, let's move in together, right? So let's see. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee real quick, y'all. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say that this is who you're moving towards this House of Flowers with, but Let's see. Okay, you've got the Two of Wands in reverse. Oh, and there's a card right behind it. And you've got the Emperor in reverse. Okay, interesting. So what I'm getting for this is that I think that this is kind of speaking to what you don't want in a certain regard. But you might want to be cautious as well, because this could either be that you don't want someone to be dominant over you, and that's kind of like a boundary or something that you're setting forth like right out the gate. That might be something you're communicating. The Two of Wands in reverse is also kind of telling me that you may be feeling less optimistic about the future at this time, so that might be affecting your perspective. So just keep that in mind as well. You might be a little bit pessimistic. Yeah, you've got the Hermit at the bottom of the deck. I think you kind of just want to be alone right now, Aries. Oh, but you've got the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well. So I'm going to pull, the Hermit card fell, so I'm going to pull it out. But maybe this is more of your energy right now, but you also could have I will say either you're cautious of control issues with this Emperor card in reverse, or you might have control issues. It's up to you to kind of see where you fit in this. And, you know, if you're self-reflective, which I feel like if you're, you know, watching tarot, you probably are, then you'll know, like, if you have control issues, if that's something you struggle with, you know. So the idea of, sharing space with another person could be in, like, you could be, like, cautious about it, right? Which is good. I mean, you should be cautious about making a big decision like moving in with somebody, right? So, let's get some more info on this House of Flowers. Is this a domestic situation, or is this, that's the vibe I'm getting, but can we clarify the House of Flowers card? Just get a little bit more info on that. Can we clarify the House of Flowers? Okay. Okay, we got some reversals here. Bottom of the deck is the King of Swords. So you could be dealing with an Aquarius. Okay, you've got the Eight of Cups in reverse. So this is telling me that this is something you might not want to walk away from. Not saying, like, you know, I'm not advising you. I'm saying that you may feel this way, right? You've got the Six of Pentacles. I feel like this has potential for, like, you know, a healthy relationship, healthy reciprocity, right? Where that you give what you get, right? You get what you give. You've got the Nine of Swords in reverse. This could reduce a lot of anxiety for you, potentially because it could be more stable and long-term, right? And maybe actually, like, both of you are anxious about your living situation. Like I said, this could be friend or romantic. I still am not seeing any indicator that it's, you know, one or the other. But I just get the feeling that it could be either for some of you. So I feel like this is really about trying to reduce stress and anxiety. So keep that in mind, you know, that if it's not necessarily because you're, like, thrilled about living with each other, but because it would make things easier, you just keep that in mind as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of people get into domestic partnership situations because it's a lot easier financially, you know, even just, like, traveling to see each other, or, like, you know what I mean? I think that people do that a lot. So, okay, anyway, Ten of Swords in reverse. So kind of like the Eight of Cups in reverse here. I'm kind of feeling like this is something that you don't want to end. You don't want to walk away from. Maybe both parties don't want to walk away from it or end it necessarily, but this is kind of like a turning point decision, right? Especially if it's romantic, because, you know, if you decide, like, you know, that you do or don't want to move in together, that's a pretty big turning point in your relationship, you know, depending, right? Because if somebody, like, comes in like this and it's like, I think we should move in together, I think we should take this step, right? And you're kind of like, I don't know, then that could shake somebody's confidence, or that could shake their confidence in the relationship. And I'm not saying that you should give in to something you don't feel comfortable with by any means. Be completely honest if you are feeling hesitant or cautious because of, you know, you're afraid of being, you know, controlled. You're afraid of being in a controlling situation. You're not feeling super optimistic, you know what I mean? Or you're uncertain, right? I think it's good to be honest about that, but it would change things, of course, but this person should think about that too when they make this offer, because I feel like we all have a right to how we feel, right? So let's go ahead and clarify the Hermit card. Who is the Hermit in this situation? Is this Aries? Why is this Hermit card here, Spirit? Thank you for your divine messages and guidance, as always. Okay, we've got the Four of Swords. You very easily could be healing from a heartbreak, or whoever this Hermit person is. This could be you or the other party. But with the Four of Swords, I'm thinking you're healing. Pardon me. Okay, and we've got 2 cards coming out in reverse. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any more. So we've got the Death card in reverse. So what I'm kind of getting from this is Scorpionic energy, right? And so, with the sign of Scorpio and just Scorpionic energy in general, which remember we all have all signs, right? Like it's all in our wheelhouse, so to speak. But we just have different placements and different concentrations of energy, right? So when people are experiencing Scorpionic energy, it's really about death and rebirth and transformation, right? So what I'm getting with this in reverse is that you may still be going through a transformational process. It might not be over yet. And it may just you might still just be in the throes of it, especially with that Four of Swords. And you also have the Knight of Wands in reverse, right? So you might be feeling a little less passionate and sexual at this time as well. You might also not be feeling very playful or like having a lot of fun in your relationship. And also you might not like, I don't know, because the Knight of Wands can also be referenced as kind of like a promiscuous type of person, someone who's kind of like in and out of your life, that whole sort of thing. So what I'm feeling for you is that maybe like that's how this relationship kind of started and like things have changed, or I don't know, like you're just not like that. So like maybe the fun and excitement and sexiness of this situation is kind of like dying off, and you're kind of you might just be focusing on yourself and going inward, right? So let's clarify this Knight of Swords. Who's this Knight of Swords? So I feel like this is the other person in the situation. And this Night Ride, I feel like that is kind of how it is that you are kind of going through, it's kind of cute. I just feel like you're going through something really tough emotionally or spiritually, and you're this person, I feel like, is trying to kind of shelter you. Yeah, they're ready to communicate with you. They're ready to take action with you. They seem pretty serious too. Oh yeah. Oh honey, you've got the Chariot card coming out for this Knight of Swords and the Four of Wands. Like this person wants forward movement and commitment with you. That's really clear. Which can be exciting or give you, make you nervous, depending on where you are in life, right? So, for me, this looks really good and it's really exciting. They seem really serious and they really want to move forward quickly, which can be very scary. And so I understand. We're going to go ahead and clarify. Yeah, you've got the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Like, they are coming in with honest. Oh, wow. And the Fool card in reverse underneath. Huh. I think you're afraid to take a leap of faith. I think you're afraid to move forward in a new start with this person. Yeah. That's completely understandable, like, Aries. I don't, think that there's anything wrong with being cautious and uncertain, right? But sometimes, wow, okay. I was looking at the Night Ride, and this just popped out, the Six of Swords. So, yeah, I feel like you both want to move on to calmer waters, together. Because there's 2 figures in this card, and I feel like one is doing the rowing, and one is being protected. It's a lot like this card actually with the 2 owls, because you've got one with its wing over the other, and I feel like it's this Knight of Swords person is they're willing to do the heavy lifting here. Like, I think they're willing to like shelter you and take you to a better place, honestly. which, I mean, I understand why you would be cautious of that if you are concerned about control issues. So that's what we're going to get into. So with this Emperor in reverse, is this Knight of Swords controlling, or is this something that Aries needs to be worried about? Okay, High Priestess in reverse. You can't tell. That's what's worrying you, is you really can't tell. You're not sure. You're feeling kind of cut off from your intuition, potentially. This kind of feels like secrets or like hidden information. You don't know everything about this person, potentially. Okay. Let me keep clarifying the Emperor in reverse. I really want to know what these issues are that's making Aries feel uncertain. Can we get another card to clarify the Emperor in reverse? What is this that Aries is worried about? Okay, that's a lot of cards, but I've got the Sun card in reverse here. I think you're afraid of, okay, you've got the Ten of Swords again. Yeah. I think you're worried about it ending badly. Like, I think you're worried about this messing with your happiness even more. Yeah, I just saw the Fool card in reverse again. You've got the Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This could be somebody from your past who's coming back around. Sorry, forgive me. Oh. Okay. Okay, darling. So, the way I picked up the cards anyway, you got the Fool card. You've got the Two of Cups. You've got the Seven of Swords in reverse, and you've got Temperance, okay? So what I'm getting here is that whatever you're uncertain about, that's going to become clear to you with the Seven of Swords in reverse. Like, I feel like you and this person are compatible. I feel like with the right amount of balance and kind of like patience, that y'all can have a new start together. And I feel like that you need to ask the right questions and clarify this confusion, right? Like, I don't necessarily, from what I'm getting in the cards, and I, like, this is all up to you. Like, definitely ask your spirit guides, your ancestors, the divine, like, ask for guidance in this situation if you're uncertain about somebody, because that's really important to, make your own decisions. But what I'm seeing is I don't think that this person is, I don't think that they're sneaky or that there's a hidden agenda. But I will say the one thing that I'm not seeing is a lot of cups. Like, the Two of Cups is the only thing that's come out here. So they might be thinking very practically, or they might be thinking in a very kind of like paternalistic or maternalistic sort of way, like where they're wanting to like protect you and shelter you and like take you somewhere better. And that can be coming from a place of love, but I mean, like, I'm not seeing a whole lot of cups. I think it's very intellectual. Like, I think that they're thinking logically about this, right? But I am seeing the Two of Cups here, meaning like, I do think that you're compatible, and I do think that there is love here. I think with the right amount of balance and patience, you can dispel any kind of confusion or uncertainty, and it would be like taking a risk. It would be taking a leap of faith, right? So I see why you're having some hesitance here. Especially if you're still healing from something, you're going through a transformation. Like, I think that's part of the reason why this is like a night ride. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like it isn't easy. Like, there is choppy waters here, like with the Six of Swords, and like this person is willing to do the work to help get you to the other side. And like, are they doing it selfishly? I think that's a good question. Is this Knight of Swords trustworthy? Wow, okay. You've got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This person, I think, is probably rather well off. This could be part of the reason why they are also... Sorry, I hope you could hear me. I think this might be part of the reason why also they're able to do all the heavy lifting, or why they're able to, like, move you towards this living situation or whatever it is. I think it's because they could be rather well off. Yeah, okay, so we've got the King of Swords again. And like I said before, this you could be dealing with an Aquarius, but this is definitely someone who's really logical. Like, this is definitely more happening for them intellectually than anything, because you've got the Knight of Cups in reverse, right? So I don't think they're necessarily coming in romantically here. I mean, like, this could be, like I said, I think this is like a domestic partnership situation, but I don't necessarily, I can't tell for sure, because like I said, there's really not a lot to indicate besides the Two of Cups. But that was to clarify the Emperor in reverse. Like, maybe part of your concern is that it's not very romantic. you know, that's important to you. You don't want to be controlled. You don't want someone to be sneaky. You want this to be right. You want this to be balanced, and you want there to be love. And I'm just seeing this Knight of Cups in reverse here. You've also got the Six of Cups in reverse. And so I kind of feel like this is, the Six of Cups is really about, this could mean that children are involved. This could mean that, like, maybe you don't want children, or this person doesn't want children. I don't know. But it could also mean that, like, there isn't a whole lot of, like, deep, like, kind of like lifetime transcending love, right? Because this is like about past life relationships, potentially past partnerships. Like I said, this could be someone from your past. And I don't know what I'm just kind of feeling like, so when I'm looking at this card like this, like, the cups look really dingy, right? Like, I don't know, to me. But when I look at them like this, they're like bright pink. So, like, I know it's just the lighting. Like, here, you can see it better when I come in close. But just then when I was holding it like this, I was kind of like, eh. Like, I'm just not really feeling the love, basically. And last, but certainly not least, the Five of Pentacles came out. This is a pretty good indicator. Like, whenever I ask, Spirit, like, if I should do something, if something's going to work out, if I get the Five of Pentacles, like, I typically don't do it. And I know that is hard to hear, because I don't want to influence your decisions any more than, like, it's all about you and your intuition and about your connection with the divine. And obviously, if you're trying to, watch some tarot, then it's probably, so that you can get a little guidance here. So what I have to say to you, Aries, as far as what I'm seeing, is I don't necessarily think that, I think this person can do the logical, physical stuff, right? But I don't know if they can provide to you emotionally. Like, I don't know if this is gonna ultimately be fulfilling for you. It might. I think that like I said, I'm just seeing a lot of pentacles and a lot of swords and a lot of wands. Like, I'm not seeing a whole lot of cups. So I just don't think there's a lot of emotional fulfillment here. I think this is more of like a logical arrangement. This could easily be like some type of dynamic where that this is, like I said, I think that there's like a more like dominant person who is like sheltering like somebody who's going through a hard time. I see this type of dynamic a lot of times with like sugar daddies and sugar babies. So this could be somebody who wants to like provide for you in a financial kind of stability type way, in a logical intellectual type of way, like, let me help you get to where it is you're going. But with the Five of Pentacles coming out, I just don't know. I feel like this person could end up leaving you out in the cold if like you aren't like exactly the way they want you to be, even though they're telling you like that they are willing to do all this stuff and they'll take you there. But what happens when you get to the House of Flowers, right? Like, if you're still going through your transformation, you're still going through your emotional turmoil, can this person provide for you in that way? Like, is this person going to be patient and like loving and kind? I think that's your concern, right? You're concerned about taking the gamble. So yeah, I would just be cautious, Aries. Consult with your, spirit guides. But, at the end of the day, if you feel uncomfortable about something or you feel uncertain, but you're like, oh, this person will give to me like in a financial way, or it'll bring stability. They seem really serious. Like, I totally understand. Definitely consider it. But at the end of the day, like, if this is not going to provide you with emotional fulfillment, and it could end up leaving you out in the cold because you depended on this person, and then like if you're not what they want or you're not holding up your end of the deal, then they could just like boot you because they're in charge. This is their shit, excuse my language, right? So just keep that in mind, Aries. I wish you the best in this situation. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to support me and my channel. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks.